Hello everybody and welcome back to the 8th episode of our Terraria modded tutorial series. Today we're finally going to be covering armor sets. So armor sets in Terraria are not exactly easy to make. There's a lot that goes into creating an armor set, especially if you're going to be making custom sprites as well as a lot of custom functionality. So over here in my A sprite, I have open my helmet. This is the item that's going to display in my inventory when I actually have the helmet or when I craft it. But when I equip the helmet, that's an entirely different story. This is what the sprite looks like for when you want to equip a helmet. This is an entire sprite sheet that has the helmet for all of the different Terraria animations. So this is why creating an armor set is so difficult and can actually become really complex really fast. So the way that armor sets work in Terraria is that each Terraria player has a set of animations. There's the running animation, the swinging animation, and the jump animation. And what we have to do when we create an armor set is we have to create and draw the helmet and the chest and the arms and the legs for each one of those animations by hand. And this is why it takes so much time to make a Terraria armor set. And this is why I've put this off for a while. So over here I actually have a little GIF of all of the 20 frames that you're going to need to draw in order to create a custom Terraria armor set. So if I play them, you can kind of see it a little bit better. This is the chest and the arms kind of in motion together here. You can see the swinging animation, which by the way is also used for holding out items. Like this is the same frame that would be used for swinging a pickaxe as well as holding out an item in front of you. So because of the complexity of this kind of stuff, I'm actually going to give you these files to download so you can at least use them as a reference when you're creating your own file. And do remember that once you have finished creating your armor set, you do have to make sure that the sprite size is double what it was previously. So I made mine at 20 pixels wide, and I'm going to scale it up to 40, just like so, by 200%. And once you have all of your sprites done, or if you just want to follow along and use the ones that I'm giving you for now, that's perfectly fine. We're going to actually go and open up our code. So let's go into our Riptide mod, and let's open up our .csproj file. Okay, so we're going to go and navigate over to our items folder, and we're going to duplicate our gel sword. So let's find our gel sword, and we're going to create a new folder. So if you want, you can do that in your .csproj file, or you can come into your real folder here and click new folder and armor. So once we have that folder created, let's head back into our .csproj file, open our armor folder, and we're going to paste the thing we just copied. Okay, and first off, we're going to rename this from our test sword to our gel helmet, and we're going to change the class name to also our gel helmet. Okay, and we're going to call this our, what are we going to call this? We're going to call this our Slimy Helmet. And we're going to say 5% increased melee damage. Okay, now we're going to get rid of a lot of stuff here. So let's just get rid of all of our set defaults. And we're going to say item.width equals 20, item.height equals 20, item.value, so how much money it's worth, I'm going to say 15 silver. Our item.rarity equals 1, and our defense, our item.defense equals 2. So when we equip this item, this will give us 2 defense. And in order to make an item equipable and actually have a visual when you put it on your head slot, we have to go right under our namespace Riptide mod.items. We're going to have a new line. We're going to say auto load equip type dot head, and we do not need a semicolon after that. And what that does is it makes the computer recognize this file as a helmet. So when we equip this helmet in our head slot, it will display this sprite sheet that we've created right here. And yes, you cannot export these as GIF files. They have to be vertical sprite sheets. So make sure that you do use this format when you do export them in its finality. Okay, now we can give ourselves the armor bonuses. All we have to say is public override void update equip. And then under that, we can just say player.melee damage plus equals 0.05f. And that is just 5% for those of you who want to know. And if you want to change other things like your crit chance, you can say melee crit plus equals 10. That'll give you 10 extra melee crit chance when you equip this item. And under our recipes, I'm going to say 25 gel at an anvil. And I'm also going to add another ingredient for silk. Okay, and that's all we need to do to code our helmet. Now, over on our right, where we see our gel helmet.png, we have to make sure the item itself is called gel helmet.png so that it matches this code file, but the sprite sheet file for when you equip the item needs to be called gel helmet underscore head. So the name of this file, which is gel helmet, and then an underscore, and then the word head after it. And this will recognize this as the equip PNG, and this is what will be displayed on the player. So you have to make sure that the names are correct, otherwise it will not compile correctly. Okay, now that we've done that, let's copy and paste our gel helmet, and we'll call this our gel leggings, slimy pants, I'll call it, and we'll say 7% increased movement speed, 30 gel, and 2 silk for the recipe. And to update our equip, I'm going to say player.movespeed plus equals 0.07f, which just means 7%. Okay, and I'm also going to set the value to 2,000 or 20 silver coins. And so for our leg sprites, this is going to be the item sprite for our legs, so the item that's in our inventory. And then this is going to be the equipment sprite for our legs, so what's actually drawn onto the player. So I'm going to make sure I save both of these with the correct names in our armor folder, gel leggings.png for the item file, and then for the equip sprite, we're going to say gel leggings underscore legs. So the name of our file and then underscore legs. Okay, and there we go. We have ourselves our gel leggings as well. And if you actually go and build and reload your game, you will be able to see these and equip them correctly. But we're not quite done yet. We have to create our body. And this is probably the most time-consuming part to make, because animating the arms and the chest plate probably take the longest out of everything else. So we're going to duplicate our gel helmet, and we're going to call it the gel chest plate. Okay, and in our gel chest plate, we're going to say gel chest plate, make sure the class names are correct. I'm going to call this the Slimy Chestpiece, and I'm going to say 5 increased critical strike chance in general, 3 defense, 25 silver coins, so 2,500 for the value, 35 gel, and 3 silk for the recipe. And under our update equip, we're going to say player.melee crit plus equals 5, player.magic crit plus equals 5, player.ranged crit plus equals 5, and player.thrown crit plus equals 5. And that gives us 5 critical strike chance across the board for every single item type. Okay, now's your chance to make sure that you have saved all of your files and Control S in all of your files. And now to finish off our chest plate, we have to save the files in the correct spot. So for me, I already have my sprites right here. This is my gel chest plate underscore body. So the name of our file and then underscore body. So we're going to save that. Okay. And over here we have the arms. So we're going to say gel chestplate underscore arms. So the name of our file and then underscore arms. And we'll save that also in our armor folder. And then we have our actual item sprite that displays when the item's in our inventory. And we'll call that just our gel chestplate. And I almost forgot, head back over to your gel leggings, and over where we say auto load equip, make sure we say equip type.legs, and also make sure the namespace is in our armor, not our items folder, because we made a new folder. And make sure the same thing is for our helmet. Make sure we say namespace riptidemod.armor, and let's also make sure that the namespace is correct for our chest plate. And finally, make sure to say auto load equip type.body in your chest plate, and that will flag this item as a chest plate. So just like that, we have ourselves a complete armor set. However, we do want to add a set bonus to our items. And to do that, let's go ahead and head into our helmet.cs file, our gel helmet. And we're going to say public override bool is armor set. And we're going to say return body.type equals mod.armor dot item type gel chestplate, and then two and symbols, which just stands for and legs dot type equals mod dot item type gel leggings, and then semicolon, and this will return our gel chestplate, gel leggings, and this current item, which is our gel helmet, as an armor set. Now that we've defined that, we can say under this public override void update armor set, then we can actually give ourselves a special set bonus. So here's what we can do. We can say player.set bonus equals 20% increased movement speed. And under this, I will say player.movespeed plus equals 0.20f. And just like that, we have completed our armor set. And let's finally build and reload our mod. Hopefully we will have no problems. And if we enter our game, let's go and grab our armor set. So our slimy armor. Okay. Here it is. Let's go and equip it. Oh, look at that. So we have a functioning armor set, and you can see it animates and everything. And if we mouse over our helmet, you can say it says 5% increased melee damage. And you can also see the set bonus as well. If we take off our helmet, set bonus is gone. And if we check the recipe for our armor as well, yep, silk and gel. So just like that, we have ourselves a custom armor set. So if you want to get a little bit crazy and get a little bit wild, you can try and make your own armor sprites. It will take you a little while, but it is definitely doable. I have done it plenty of times before in the past. I also just realized the helmet item is not the same as the equip item. I hope you guys learned something new from this episode. I know it is quite a difficult one to handle. The main thing to remember when making armor sets is to make sure you have all of the names correct, make sure all your namespaces are correct, and your autoload.equip is actually equipping the correct body type, the legs, and the helmet. And just make sure all of that is correct. And then once you're done, you can experiment with making your own custom sprites. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.